Okay, so on the surface, you've got two absolutely terrifying creatures from completely different parts of the world. One is this malevolent spirit from ancient Thai folklore. The other? A modern-day monster that was said to be stalking livestock all across the Americas. But what if I told you their stories are way, way more connected than you could ever imagine?
Right, that's the big mystery we're going to try and unpack here. We're going to follow the trail of these two legends, which seem totally separate, to see if they actually lead to the same horrifying place. So stick with me, because this is where it gets really weird.
All right, our story has to start in Thailand with a spirit that's, deeply woven into the local folklore. It's a ghost known as the Pop, and its reputation is built on this really, really gruesome hunger.
So what is a Pop exactly? Well, this isn't some monster you can see coming down the street. It's an incorporeal spirit, a ghost, and it works from the inside out. The legend says it possesses a living person, and then, from inside its host, it just starts eating them, consuming their raw flesh, their organs. I mean, it is a truly horrifying thought.
And what's really fascinating is how a Pop even comes to be. See, it's not just some random evil spirit. It's often the result of power that's just gone completely wrong. You have a sorcerer who's dabbling in forbidden magic, they break the sacred rules, and this malevolent energy starts to grow inside them. Eventually, they can't contain it anymore, and that's when the Pop is unleashed, just desperate to feed.
And believe it or not, the legend gets even more complex. There are actually two types. You've got the Papacombe, which is born from that sorcerer's mistake, and then there's the Pop Chua, which is basically an inherited curse, passed down through a family line for generations. It shows you how this fear just keeps going. People even believe the curse can be transmitted between spouses, almost like some kind of supernatural disease.
Okay, now let's jump. We're going halfway across the world and fast-forwarding in time to 1995 in Puerto Rico. A totally new kind of terror is about to be born, one that's going to get a name that sparks panic all across the Americas, the Chupacabra.
And this story just exploded. It starts with 8 goats found dead, completely drained of blood. But then, only a few months later, in a town called Canovanas, it escalates like crazy. The creature gets its famous name, El Chupacabra, which literally means the goat sucker. And then, within a year, the whole thing jumps over the water to Miami and Texas. The panic was spreading as fast as the story itself.
Just let that sink in for a minute. Over 150 animals, goats, chickens, cows, you name it, found dead. In a single month. In one town. You can see why people were terrified. This wasn't just some weird one-off thing. For the people living there, this felt like an attack by some relentless, totally unknown predator.
So, what did people say they saw? Well, the descriptions were bizarre, but they were also weirdly consistent. People described a creature about 4 or 5 feet tall, with a body kind of like an ape's and gray skin. It had these big, glowing red eyes, a line of quills running down its back, and get this, it moved by hopping like a kangaroo. Witnesses also said there was this powerful, sickening smell, like sulfur.
Okay, so we have our two subjects, the ghostly Thai Pop and the physical American Chupacabra. They seem like they're from different planets, right? But now, let's look at what they do. This is where the story takes a really fascinating and kind of creepy turn. Okay, this is it. This is where that connection becomes impossible to ignore. Just look at their methods, side by side. The Papak is said to attack large animals at the neck to drink their blood. The Chupacabra leaves 2 distinct puncture wounds on the neck and drains the body of all blood. The Papak tears apart smaller animals, like chickens. The Chupacabra does the exact same thing. Both are known to just eviscerate their victims. The parallels here are absolutely chilling.
And it's not just us making this connection. The source material we're drawing from puts it really plainly. The behavior of the Chupacabra and the Thai Papor are incredibly similar. That's a pattern that bridges thousands of miles in 2 completely different cultures. So, how in the world do you explain that?
Well, naturally, when something this strange goes down, people want answers. And the theories that popped up to explain the Chupacabra, they range from the pretty scientific to the completely out of this world.
So what are we really dealing with here? A brand new species nobody had ever seen before? Some kind of escaped experiment from a UFO? Or could it actually be something much, much older?
Okay, let's break down the leading theories. You had some scientists suggesting it could be a new species, maybe a mutated vampire bat, or that it was just mass hysteria,
People misidentifying normal predators like wild dogs out of fear. Others went way further, claiming it was an alien pet or some kind of experiment gone wrong. But then you get the wildest theory of all, the one that connects everything we've been talking about, that a taipap was somehow brought to the Americas by missionaries, maybe inhabiting a person, and unleashed this ancient curse in a brand new world.
No matter what its true origin is, the story of the Chupacabra didn't just disappear. In a twist that is just classic modern culture, the terror, it was transformed into something else entirely.
That's right. The goat sucker became a brand. The image of this terrifying creature started showing up on t-shirts, on hats, coffee mugs, you name it. The local monster that once caused so much fear became a mascot for tourism, turning a modern myth into a very real source of income. It turns out, fear sells.
So, what do you think? Was the Chupacabra just a case of mistaken identity, blown up by fear? Was it a real, undiscovered animal of flesh and blood? Or could it be proof that some legends are strong enough to travel, that an ancient spirit from Thailand really did find a new hunting ground in the Americas? The real answer is still out there.